everybody. Good morning. This is Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for You. I'm very tired. I feel I owe you people an explanation, perhaps. If you have, if you've been following along on my Facebook page, you'll have seen that I had a sale in my my Etsy shop. It's still going on. I have a sale. I'm sort of liquidating all of my inventory out of my Etsy shop, hopefully. What does that mean? I have an Etsy shop, and what does that mean? You know, I have stuff in my basement that I need to really move along and make some space for. I had posted on my Facebook page, if you haven't seen it, that due to unforeseen circumstances, things are being changed around, and I have to get rid of some things. Mainly my large quilts that I have made over the last few years that are for sale in my shop. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. If you want to go to my shop, Truelove Quilts for You on Etsy, there's a 50% off every item over $150, and I've sold quite a lot. Yesterday my sale was 75% off things, and I sold I sold so many quilts for a very, 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 very knockdown price. I sort of gave them away. The reason I'm doing that is just in the last almost 24 hours or so, 48 hours, we've had some real life changes. And it'll all be good. It'll all be good. And everybody's like, oh, I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. I wasn't okay. And hopefully I'll be able to get through this. Long story short, we're going to be moving. But it's a long story. And I thought you people might want to hear it. Because it's going to be a complete, utter life's change. And let me explain. We have lived in our home for 28 years. And as you can see, I'm a collector. I have been collecting for over 50 years of my life. And my house is our house, I should say, is a 4,200 square foot, 3-story home filled to the brim with things that I have collected and things that I have loved. Well, as my husband and my husband's older than myself, he'll be 72. That's not old. He's still working. He's still fit. He's still up on ladders. I'll be 63. But the inevitable will be coming. Downsizing and getting rid of the family home. Well, 6 of our 10 children were born in this home. 4 of our 10 children were born in this home. The first 6 children were born in England. And we had a family home in England, which we left. And then when we moved to Canada for several years, and then we moved here. And we've lived here for 28 years. 4 of our last children were born here. Maxwell, as most of you know, was born upstairs in my bedroom with all of the children around. His oldest brother's 18 years older than Maxwell. And Maxwell just turned 20. And what's happened is our sons, we have 9 boys, as you know, and our 1 daughter. How many of our sons? 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, all own their own homes. And our 3 of our sons own very large homes with lots of land. And our 1 son just bought a very, very big home. He had a house, very nice home on 6 acres in beautiful wooded setting, blah, blah, blah. About a 2,400 square foot home, rancher. And he has just purchased his sort of forever home, which is about 10 minutes away. And he and his wife had the means not to have to sell their previous home that they're living in right now. Well, all of a sudden, they own quite a few rental properties, and they were going to rent their home. And all of a sudden, they came to the conclusion, why don't we rent our current home to Mom and Dad? Well, I like their home. I like their home a lot. and they proposed this proposition, I should say, that we sell our family home and downsize and move into their lovely home, and pretty much get rid of all of our bills, quite a lot of our bills, which is as time goes on, it's daunting. Due to some circumstances, my husband will have to continue to work. I'm doing this, but it was a conversation, quite seriously, I didn't want to have for another perhaps 5 years, because we're not old. But our children felt it inevitable, as it is with elderly parents, to have that conversation now and make it possible for mom and dad to transition from our large family home into a much more manageable, large, nice, lovely family home. It's a rancher on one floor, no steps, 4 bedrooms, and to be honest, I don't love it. I love my home. Their home is lovely, but it's not my ideal home. But I'm thinking, well, at this stage of our life, I can't be choosy. And also, will it meet our requirements? And when they bought the house about 2.5, 3 years ago, I walked into their home, and you will be seeing video of it, and maybe you'll want to share with me in the process for the next, it's only going to be about 2 months. This is happening very quickly. And again, I'll tell you why. As I walked into their home, they have to the left, and a massive, about a 500 square foot vaulted family room, vaulted ceiling family room, which will become my new sewing room. As I walked in and I saw their home a couple of years ago, I walked in, I'm like, oh, that would make a beautiful sewing room in my ideal dream world. Ha ha ha. Beautiful, light, lovely vaulted ceiling. I can see a wall of fabrics, all of my sewing stations. As you know, you've seen my sewing room, which was 1/2 of our 2-car garage. We converted it. So my sewing room is 9 foot wide by 18 foot long, what I film in. This place is about 30 foot by 20 foot. It's amazing, the one room. And then the other part of the house has 4 bedrooms, a small dining nook, a lovely kitchen, and a fairly decent sized living room. And that's it. It's beautiful. But I'm thinking, take away the sewing room and it's about 1,500 square foot. We have a 4,200 square foot home, filled to the brim. And so the inevitable was, what do I do with all of my treasures? So the obvious point would be to sell it all, or to pack it up, or to give it away, or to have a yard sale. That process is too painful for me. I don't want to cry. I feel like a fool because I've been crying for 2 days. But if you people have helped elderly parents, or are in this position yourself, or see it coming, it's so wrenching. But this stuff is not the wrenching part. As you know, we have an autistic son, Maxwell. And Maxwell was born in this home, and we put this proposition to him. And you have to understand, Maxwell takes his cue from me. He's my heartbeat. I mean, his dad and his brothers, but because he's with me, perhaps you understand that. So this was put on the table just 2 days ago, this plan, this proposed plan. And at first I balked. I'm like, no, go away, stop. And then I thought reason. And what is presented is that I am in control of this situation, and my husband. And the home that we will be going to will be ours. And our bills will be cut in, well, way more than half, way more, to hardly anything. Because my sons are financially able to do that. And I thought, oh my word, what a blessing. What an incredible blessing. And why would I like, oh, for all my stuff, like, you know, get hung up over that. And we ran it past Maxwell, again, don't mind me, I'm all over the place. And he cried and he cried and he cried and he was so upset because of change. So I really had to talk to him, convince myself, cry with him, have tears, and then convince himself and myself of the benefit of moving. And the benefit of which we have of ripping off the Band-Aid very quickly. And let me explain. I physically was looking around my home, and for every, I would say, 30, maybe 40 items I could touch, I can take one. There physically is not enough space for all of my things. Now I was telling, my son, my daughter-in-law was saying, you know, look at it like, put your hands on what you use every day. If you use those 3 pots, put your hands on that. If you use your teacups, your kettle, your bedding, you know, your sofa, your clothes, put your hand on that. That's the most important thing. And we will work from there. Now they have a very lovely home, but again, it's a quarter of the size of this house. So I was thinking most everything I can't take. And I had said all along, if we have, everybody who comes into our home gasps, how do you dust it all? and like, what would you ever do if you moved? And I had said, if I was in a healthier frame of mind and physically, I'm not ill, but I do get tired, it would take me perhaps a year of packing up, because I'm here alone in my home, of the physical packing in boxes, blah, 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 and then putting stuff, maybe a year and a half with the energy I have. And then, you know, on the day, you know, everybody move, my 10 children move us, blah, blah, blah. But because everybody has lives, it would be me packing on my home. I can't do that. So, long story short, I'm leaving it all. I said to Maxwell and Daddy and I, and Elliot, who lives with us, are more important than all of my things. Now, what is going to happen over the next few weeks and maybe just about 2 months' time is, into the middle of January, maybe 3 months, is I'm going to put my hand on the things that are so precious to me and the pictures that are so precious and that will physically fit into my new home. And then what's going to happen, I said to Maxwell, we're going to set Maxwell up. I don't know if you realize, Maxwell will never be able to drive. He has epilepsy also. He has epilepsy, and he'll never be able to drive. And as a young teenage man, now he's 20, he's desperate to drive. So what happened is we made it possible for Maxwell to have a incredible driving rig video driving system. He can shift, he can have pedals, he has a steering wheel, all remote controlled. It is a fantastic rig. It's in the basement. He has 2 of them attached to large screen televisions. My sons and we have made it possible for him to have these rigs. They take up a lot of space. Well, he's priority. And he was like, you know, his little world is this big. So he's like, where would my rigs go? And he likes his bedroom, which is right next to ours, and he has an old antique brass bed, full-size bed, that was mine as a little girl, that was my grandmother's. So he's like, I have to have my bed and my rig. So we went over to the home, and there are 2 extra bedrooms. It's a 4-bedroom home that he can have his rig in one, which is now the office, and his small bedroom, which his bed fits. And then Elliot, our son, will be moving into our other boy's house. He's going to be, he's a grown man. He's going to make his way through life. And it'll just be the 3 of us. It'll be Maxwell, my husband, Ian, and myself. And I said to Maxwell, what we're going to do is and they're making it possible for this to happen. The whole house that we're going to, our, I suppose, retirement home, which is fabulous. It's not a room. It's not a condo. I'm so blessed. But what's going to happen is it's going to be made into my home. They're sort of customizing it. There's going to be a new master bathroom. Everybody's a builder in our family. And I guess the exciting part is, and as shallow as that may be, but it's not, is my sewing room is going to be kitted out unbelievably. And I will be taking pictures of it. And I think you'll all be happy for me and for us and for my husband, who won't have to work as hard. And I just wanted to, and then what's going to happen, again, please excuse me, is we're going to do our new home, completely take 1/100th of what I have. I did say this whole unit is filled with 40 years of my little kids' school projects. And I said, I am going to get a storage unit, a small storage unit. And if I never ever see the things again, that's fine. For a couple $100 a month. I said there's certain things that I'm not going to do without. Even in my brain, in a storage unit, I'm gonna take those few things. I would say 75% of the things in my home will be left here. Then what's going to happen is Maxwell and myself are going to walk away from this home and not look back, and start a new chapter in our life. Our other children who are crying, and this is the family home, I said, well, then everyone can come in and go shopping. Take whatever you want, absolutely whatever. And it was interesting because our children are minimalists and millennials, and they're like, oh, we don't want it. But all of a sudden, confronted, they're like, oh no, we want stuff. So they're going to go shopping, and then what is left over. There's a company called Max Sold, which is like an estate downsizing company. The whole team comes in, photographs, catalogs everything, markets it, and sells it all. And that will be it. And so not with heavy heart. I always try to be an optimist, me, always, and it's with not trepidation, because it's exciting. I'm thinking it's okay, it's all right. And as I say, Maxwell takes his cue from me, so I have to be positive. I have to be upbeat. I said we can allow ourselves the dignity of crying. We absolutely can reminisce and cry and which I'm going to do, and think about all of the thousands of memories that we've had in this home. We have a swimming pool, and we've had hundreds of parties. We're party people, and hundreds of get-togethers, and hundreds of drama, and hundreds of tears, and hundreds of laughs with our large family. And that's all good. We still have them. And all of this is just stuff. And I'm cool with it. That much. That much I'm not. but it will be okay because our boys are making it possible for us to transition, and I'm so blessed. And I'm so excited about my new sewing room. Anyway, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. It's a huge thing. My emotions have been for our son Maxwell mostly, and Elliot to get him sorted out, and all of our children. I mean, we have grown children, we have men, and they're all like, oh, our family home. And if any of you have gone through it, you understand it. But it's all cool. It's all cool. I've enjoyed our things. I've enjoyed this so much, my stuff. Because I've always said I'm a controlled hoarder. I understand it. I like my things. My things have never hurt me. And they're a constant. And I'll have the ones that are very, very precious. But it's all good. It's all good. Somebody else can enjoy them. And time to move on. Time to have a new chapter. What does that mean for my YouTube? I have so many projects on the go. You know me, I'm not a person who has unfinished projects. I have some unfinished projects because all of a sudden it's like, oh. So I hope you will bear with us. I will probably be showing a video of me packing up my sewing room, and then a video of our new sewing room. Yeah, I hope you're happy, and as I say, you can bear with me on this journey, life-changing journey, and prayers for Maxwell. And it's all right. It's all cool. Anyway, I do not want to be reduced to a blubbering idiot like I have been, but I'm okay with it. I said I'm okay with it. My stuff has never been a burden to me. I'm not a slave to my belongings. The inevitable, how do you dust it all? I don't understand that. It's just a bit of dust. Am I filthy? Of course I'm not. I enjoy my things. But it's okay. It's okay. Because I have this wonderful opportunity at this healthy stage of our life, which we have the choices. We have the choices. We have wonderful choices. The house is being done exactly to my specifications. It's awesome. So I'm a visual person. I'm all excited about it. So I want you to be excited, and just bear with me and try to be understanding about our plight, my situation in life right now. I'm a little bit busy, and I will get organized. I'm going to set the world on fire in my new sewing room. You guys will be like, oh my word! And I'm like that was the deal breaker. I'm like, well, if I can't have, it's now a big huge family room. I'm like, we don't need a big family room anymore, which is odd because we've had 10 children and this is our family home. But all my boys have the big family homes with lots of land and swimming pools and the whole nine. Yeah, sorry, my camera clicked off. Yeah, the boys have all of the land. They have swimming pools. So I said to them, we are passing the torch. It's time for me to bring a covered dish and not do a lot of the work for the parties we have. And I'm looking forward to that. It's time for the boys to step up, which they have. We entertain a lot. Our families entertain an awfully lot. And because we have such a large family and such a large group of friends, we've needed a place, but we have places now. And actually, the house we're going to, my son has raised pigs in the home we're going to. There's a big pig pen out back, barn. He's like, well, can I keep my pigs there? And I'm like, I know you're being kind, but I've dealt with his pigs before because he has a pig roast every year, and the house has accommodated 150 people at the pig roast. And I said, I don't want to have to look after your pigs. Anyway, we were laughing about it. He's like, no, don't worry about it, Mom. It was funny because I'm like, it's not. And he said, it was the lovely bit about it is we've been homeowners for almost 40 years. And I said, I don't, you're going to be my landlord. And I love you, but, adamant, he and his wife, adamant, this is your home. This is your home. And do what you want. This is your home. What color do you want the walls? This is your home. We're going to customize this. We're going to do that for you, Mom. And I thought, again, I was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed at our daughter-in-law's generosity. All of our sons are going to be physically building my sewing room. Building me some. We have a library. We have a room which is a library. I have over 2,500 books in my library. I can take this many. But my other boys were like, "Oh, I want the books." They're fighting over the books, and all my other lovely books. Again, I've been collecting them for 50 years. But there's a little small. Actually, it's not. I went yesterday. It's quite a decent sized nook that their boys are going to do a build-in of. Like a L-shaped shelves for quite a lot of my books. Again, the more important ones. And then my pictures, my plates, and whatever. So that's what's going on. The boys, are, as I was saying, they're like, "Oh, I have so much stuff, Mom," and then they're like, "Oh, Mom, don't get rid of your stuff." And I'm like, and then I thought, I didn't do it out of rash. I wasn't rashly considering getting rid of my my inventory, because they're like, "What, Mom? You gave everything away." I said, no, stop. Just the one quilt. I told you, the one quilt. I thought, that quilt that I made, that lady really got a good deal. Oh my word! I said, never mind. I can always make them again. I had this wonderful sewing room. But they were large, and again, I'm trying to figure out, go with a clean slate, and it's exciting. It is exciting, and just as I said, pray for Maxwell and my husband, because I'm physically walking away, and I'm never coming back. And I said to Ian and the boys and our children, you can deal with it, and they're like, "Awesome, Mom." And it's not. I said, I don't want to be a burden. You always hear that, "Oh, I don't want to be a burden on my children." Well, I'm thinking, well, flipping heck, you guys were a burden on me for the last 40 years. But I'm saying, they're like, "Mom, you make a phone call and have an estate come in and do it, and pay somebody to get rid of all the stuff," which is fine, And I said, it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. And my boys are movers and shakers and professional people, and they're like, "Don't worry about it, Mom. You go. You take Maxwell into a brand new, not brand new, but finished home. It's customized for you, and start your life, and don't worry about it." And I'm like, that's what's going to happen. So that's my life. That's my life right now. I wanted to share it with my friends, and you've all been so lovely and expressed concern, and I have been like in tears, floods of tears. I woke up, we went over today is Wednesday, on Monday, and we've all met at a lovely restaurant, and this was put on the table. Well, I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just woke up I got to bed at about 11:30, and I woke up at 2 o'clock just with a sick pit in my stomach. I couldn't sleep. So I woke up. And, I watched some television, and I went in my sewing room, and I prayed a lot. I prayed a lot for peace, for just peace. And it worked. It worked. And, again, I like to see the glass half full, as opposed to half empty, and see the positive in all. And, as I said, my husband and I are blessed beyond. We truly are. We truly are. All that hard work raising these rotten kids paid off. And they've been wonderful. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. And have a lovely day. And I'm going to get to work now. See you later. Bye.
myself.